Have you ever seen a fifth grader try to get a girlfriend? Open the map.
Dad, it's the trigger. No, it's the trigger, not the A button.
It's basically this move where someone dies and then they crouch over them and just sort of kneel. And it's an added insult.
Ball in the cup is not considered a console.
I had the stick with the wheel.
Yes. Stick around, 'cause I am coming back. And I know someday I'm gonna make it better.
Talk about shit we talk about anyway. Just
seriously.
That's the plan. That's the dream. But anyway, all right, let's get to the show. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. I am Jon.
I am Nick.
And I am Jamie.
So we decided when we started introducing guests into our trio, we said we kind of felt it out, right? We were like, this is good. We had a great time with the guests that we had. We had Pat Flynn. We had Mark Tickner. We had Jerry. We had Cindy, my wife Cindy, and it's a nice change up, right? But we also agree that we also dig the rhythm that the three of us had. And so when everything was said and done, we were like, I think every 3 weeks to have a guest would be a nice pace. And so, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was going to say I just agree to that. I think it's has a good flow to it. Breaks it up, but we also keep our little thing going on.
Exactly. So, and this being the 21st episode, it's kind of weird. It kind of divides by 3. Anyway, we have actually 2 guests with us this week. There are 2 guests that are what I would call
Your offspring.
My offspring, but I was going
to say near and dear to your heart.
Near and dear to my heart. Yeah. The twinkle in my eye.
Family Guy.
I know where you're going with that. I saw that episode.
My 2 sons, Jack and Noah. Say hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
So Jack and Noah, we're bringing these guys onto the show, not just because of some weird nepotism. We're actually bringing them onto the show because we've been dying to talk about video games. And, we are not the prime demographic.
You're dads.
Not anymore.
We're dads. We're dads, and we're on the opposite side of 35. And
yeah, you got that right.
And so this is a game for the young. And so what better way to talk about video games, gaming in general, than to get both perspectives. We are OG gamers.
Yeah, I put my time in, but I know that it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
Don't pick up a game and kick you.
Yeah, I know. I put my time in, believe me, but it's not worth anything anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, just the Twitch response alone, my senses are so dull that I literally can't follow the how fast the kids move on the video games.
Like, do kids still do on the first person shooter? Like I used to cheat. Like I used to put a marker on the TV.
No, they better not put a marker on my TV.
No, but I put a piece of tape.
Really?
You never did that?
No.
We would never do that.
Oh man,
you really were hardcore back
dude.
then.
I was legit.
So
Death 610 dealer gamer tag.
So. Speaking of which, gentlemen, I'm referring to the youngest members of this gaggle of numbskulls. What are your gamer tags?
I'm DrummerBeast14. All right, so before you laugh at me for how cheesy that is, I made it when I was 8 or 9.
Dude, do you know Childish Gambino, right? You know how he got that name? How? He got it from a Wu-Tang generator.
All right, I'm going to be honest.
Do you know what Wu-Tang is?
Sounds like a kung fu.
Remember that guy?
Come on, man. Yeah.
Wu-Tang, the guy.
But it is kung fu.
He had a tattoo on it. Wu-Tang.
Yeah, we ran into some...
Wu-Tang. I saw you have one back there.
Yeah. I know who Wu-Tang is.
You got that right.
But speaking of which, this age gap. So you're Drummer Beast...
All right, yeah. Everybody makes fun of it because it's Drummer Reese.
And you
Why
don't
is
play
that fun?
drums
I don't
anymore.
think that's funny at
I
all. I
don't
think
know.
that's kind of cool.
You used
I don't
to
know.
It is a pretty
play the
beast name.
drums at the Y. So
Yeah.
and you got really good at them.
That's not a bad name. I like it.
I dig the name. Which
I like
What's
Jack.
yours?
let's get
Jack.
your handle. Oh, I'm sorry, Jack and Noah.
So mine is a little bit less, I guess, original or whatever than Noah's. Mine is Sub One Jack, and the origin of that name is the popular fighting game Mortal Kombat, and one of the characters are named Sub-Zero, and I was like, let's take that name, let's put my name at the end of it, and then we'll change the 0 to a 1.
See, put some
Perfect
thought in that.
nickname.
Yeah, that's pretty legit, dude.
That was well thought out. I
And
like that.
I like how you broke out Mortal Kombat, dude. 'Cause,
See, I can relate to that.
yeah, before he was even born, I was playing that in a skating rink in the back corner while dudes were trying to get with chicks. I'm sitting there like putting my quarters up.
Were you listening to Double Dutch Bus going down the street?
I wasn't even listening to anything except just beating everybody.
Just hearing the ching of all
Yeah.
his quarters going down the drain.
Feather in the
Back
of your
forward.
hair.
That's some Raiden stuff right there.
I was more of a Street Fighter guy, but yeah.
I played that.
So obviously, I mean, we're just calling out all these games. I mean, I've been playing games for a long time. You guys have been playing games for a long time. We didn't start. We started where you guys have gone and visited arcades. We started with the arcades. And then,
Visited like it was like archaic.
Yeah.
See that
I
little
live
arcade
there.
there? You can walk through a museum.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but when we were in San Diego and we went to Nickel City and stuff, that wasn't like a arcade. That was like a kiddie, hey, get a lot of tickets so you can get a prize at the prize counter.
yeah, it was like a skee ball type of joint.
Yeah, when you guys are talking about like actual like video game arcades.
Do
Yeah.
kids still hang out there?
God, wait.
No.
No?
We-
Really?
I don't think so.
We have the Atari packed
yeah,
in
the
his
Atari
closet somewhere.
flashback.
And
So,
I got
yeah.
on. I liked it because it's an Atari and I got a chance to use it, but it was so lame.
It's bad.
It was a
It's
really
so-
big like.
I feel.
Dude, it's bad. Like,
What
I'm
else did
being
they
honest
play?
with you guys. I feel so
God,
bad.
you know what? Now I know how my
Back in the
parents
day, though,
felt.
think about it. We didn't have anything. And then we had that.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we had Nintendo, which broke the mold.
It did.
That's what really broke the mold.
I have
still
to
love
tell-
them. I love Nintendo.
I have to tell my dad. How should I refer you?
well, your dad,
John?
Yeah, it's-
no, my
John. I like John.
Let's do
that. Let's
Let's
do
go
John.
there, right?
John
Let's do
boy.
John.
Okay, I have to tell John to I'm like, all right, look down, press the A button. We're sitting there playing Fortnite. I'm teaching you how to play Fortnite,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Dad, open the map.
Dad, it's the trigger. No, it's the trigger, not the A button.
Dude, I got out of 100 people, I got down to 4.
4
But-
people.
But I bet
and
you,
did nothing.
if you
Would you hide in a corner or something like that?
Yeah,
Exactly.
What he did.
Which brings me up to this next question. I mean, the next thing I want to introduce is that so we were talking about bringing the kids on and enjoying their time and company and all that, and having them. I kid you not, having them bring their subject matter expertise to the table. And one of the things that I hear all the time, and this is just a dad moment, is that I don't understand what they're saying. Meaning, when someone calls out,
oh, something's extra.
like a,
What is that?
Oh, you're talking about
gaming slang.
the gaming lingo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm like, what?
So I thought it'd be cool just to quickly jump into this mini segment.
All right,
I'll
let's
call
do
it. To where you say, all right, so have the kids ask us, present some of the terms, and just see if we can figure it out.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to figure out any of them, but I like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
Jamie might be on board.
No,
I don't know.
I feel like, Jamie, you are a little bit
More
younger.
versed?
I mean, Dad, you just kind of sit back and just hear us say these stuff, and you know what? I'm just gonna remember this because I feel like this is gonna be on a test.
I will say this: your dad probably knows more than I do.
we
I'm like the least gamer guy here.
That's why we're bringing the subject matter experts here.
we took
The 13-year-old and the 12-year-old.
we took a little bit of time
How to
to
beat a
write.
fifth grader.
We wrote down a couple of words, and it's basically
phrases.
what would I do if I got whooped by some guy in Fortnite? What would I say?
Well, tell us the words and see if we can figure it out.
Yeah, the words, because I'm not going to know. Yeah,
We'll,
it'll be
Alright,
better.
we'll take turns.
yeah. So we'll start camper.
I know what that is. Guy just chilling out he's pretty much a cheater, really. He's just like a guy that won't come out. He just waits for you to come out and he picks you off with a sniper rifle.
So I'll hear Noah rage.
I'm
I'll
like,
hear him in from the other room. It'll be like, that camper. He's just camping. Look, this guy camping.
Oh, Aiden does that
I'm
a
so
lot.
done with this game.
Doesn't yell, but
Yo,
he's
I'll
a
tell you
camper.
what. There's an art to some of those campers, by the way. The guys that would go through with the sniper rifle, and then they could run through, camp for a little bit, and then run somewhere else, but then go on point and aim while they're running and shoot you in the head with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
That is legit. Dude.
I never understood how they
hats
could do
off
that,
to you.
dude. I would play Star Wars
Dude,
and I'm
there's
like
some
getting
guys-
beat with somebody who's right. How do you do that?
Dude,
I'm
some
like
guys-
trying to like.
I'm telling you, some guys
We're
are
not-
legit.
dude,
That's our problem.
I
Like,
pulled
Nick and I.
this sick move today, and
Go
I
ahead.
was like, I was playing with one of my buddies on Fortnite, and I was like, "Yo, you see this guy in the shack? I'm gonna nade him," and I threw the nade, and I went, boom, and then he exploded.
Is Nate meaning napalm?
Kills him.
Nade, short for grenade.
Really?
See, I didn't know that
Another
one.
one.
Like
So I was thinking napalm. I mean, something along those lines.
we're going to show our dad chops. They're going to be out there right in front and center.
Oh, Aiden would love to be here for this.
All right, next
All right, so, and by the way, some of these are just picked straight from Fortnite, Noah.
All right,
Thanks.
so go ahead.
All right, next one is noob.
I know
A
that.
newbie?
News become part of like the regular, like everyday speak.
It's just
I
a
think.
newbie playing the
Yeah,
game.
just
I would
a
think.
new player.
Yeah. That
Still
would
have
be
that-
me.
do they still have the hot dog icon with it? I never understood why they would do that, but they always used to.
Oh,
have it.
really?
With the newbie?
Yeah, like when they first came out with like noob, like obviously like it's like a new guy,
Yeah.
whatever. But they would, I don't know why, but they would have like a hot dog icon with it. I never understood
see,
that.
these are these
A
little
weenie?
mystery guys,
I
right?
have
I
no
guess
idea.
that must be it. I never
you know,
even really thought about
That
it.
would totally be me.
All right, this
So go
next
ahead.
one, it's pretty self-explanatory. Bush camper,
Is it?
camping in a
Fortnite
bush.
thing.
Where you just hang out in the bush, no one
I
sees
didn't know
you.
that, but
Yeah.
I could see
Because
that.
you're playing against so many other people, 1 to
It's
100 or
elimination
whatever.
is what the
Yeah,
game is, yeah.
I've never played it. I saw Aiden play it.
Can you just hide in bushes?
Yeah,
normally?
there's these bushes, and they would ban
I
you.
can see why this game could be fun.
I don't know
It's
any of this.
Dude,
so-
it gets your heart racing.
It's
Yeah.
so
It really
addicting.
does.
I just it pissed me off because I'm so competitive that because I couldn't play it.
You'd be singing controllers at your
Yeah,
screen.
right.
Nah, I'd be staying up at night until I'd master it, and then go to work. And then
How am
come
I going
home
to keep
and then
catch up
not
on all my
function.
shows, Jamie?
That's
How am I going to keep on my shows, Jamie?
Yeah, well, this guy has enough time over here. I'm looking to my right, which would be Nick.
For now.
Yeah, for now. He's cashing in.
Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, so I don't think we're gonna do all these because these are like
Go ahead.
actually yeah okay.
Just do some of the more clever ones or funny ones.
Next one is GG.
I don't know
GG.
that one.
It's
My
like
sister?
it's an abbreviation.
All right, so you don't, does anybody know?
Isn't it Gigi and my Aunt Nona?
All right. GG stands for good game. So someone who's
that makes sense.
like a
Yeah.
good sport will be like GG, good
Ah.
game. Man.
So you rarely
There
hear
is
that.
sportsmanship.
Yeah,
I know. I was
going to
like,
say that doesn't happen often.
I was dumbfounded there for a second.
So my a buddy of mine, this is going back a little while. This is when Halo was really big.
Yeah.
Halo,
and,
dude.
And a buddy of mine was like, "Yeah, my 12-year-old wants to go online and go on with other players." This wasn't even going on. His kid's in college now. Wasn't even going online and
Be the
playing
Grandmaster
co-op.
Chief, yeah.
Yeah, and so he was like, I was on there for like 2 seconds because he had to scope it out before he approved it. He goes, I had my headphones on. I was on there for 2 seconds. All I hear is teabag this and teabag that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's not what you think. Yes, it is what you think.
Bad.
But it's basically this move where someone dies and then they crouch over them and just
Yeah,
sort of kneel,
teabag.
kneel. And it's an
I see
added
that all the
insult.
time in Fortnite.
So good. So basically, another thing.
Oh, it's funny.
Another thing
Wait, was that one of your words?
No,
Oh, good.
No, but I
Another
see that
thing-
all the time whenever I'm looking at Fortnite and Noah just kills someone, he just starts crouching.
One thing that they
So you're not a
added-
GG.
No, I love just like
You are you would intimidate people and get
You're
on
a
their nerves.
PS.
But
Yeah,
like
poor
one of the
sport.
things that is cool about Fortnite is they add dances. So like if
That
you
is
kill
cool.
someone, you can dance around and be like, "Dude, I just absolutely pooped on
So,
you."
so it's like a
My-
TO move,
My
huh?
favorite one
It's
is
like they have a
Jubilation.
variety of dances, dude. So you just drop somebody, and they'll do
Jubilation.
like they'll break dance in
A little
front of you.
gloating scene.
Totally,
Absolutely.
It is like a TO move.
A TO move.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
go ahead, guys.
Another
Next.
Go
word.
ahead.
Jack, I don't really know what this is, but he put down sandbox.
So this is like a term for like a sort of game mode. Like not an actual sandbox, like one with sand, but like it's a term for like a game mode.
Okay. So what is it about the sandbox that's a
So,
game
like,
mode?
I guess I'll just try and compare it to like an actual sandbox. So in sandbox games, so in sandboxes you can like build whatever you want, like out of sand or out of sand toys or whatever. Sand
Oh,
toys.
like Minecraft.
I guess,
Is it
yeah.
like a red box? No,
Yeah,
red box.
basically
Red-
a game where you can do pretty much anything, like make anything. Like
I gotcha.
Like Minecraft
Okay.
or Gmod is a good example. You can build a lot of stuff, create lots of stuff. It's
Minecraft was your jam for a while.
yeah,
Is it
Minecraft
still,
was my jam.
you're
I
still
thought
digging it?
are you still in that?
Cannot stand Minecraft.
Well,
I
Yeah, we know
played once in a while, but whenever I'm looking for a multiplayer game, whenever I play with my friend in St. Louis, I go to this game called Gmod on Steam, and it has kind of like the same Minecraft premise, except it's not like blocky or anything. It's kind of like real world experience.
Oh, it's like The
Except-
Sims kind
Yeah, I
of.
was going to say SimCity
I
type
guess a
deal.
little bit, except
Okay.
first person. So yeah, it's cool.
So
though.
Jack, you went from really hardcore Minecraft to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is best.
What is that about?
Dude, that's a.
Wait,
Go
can I
ahead,
have
buddy.
the honors? Okay, thanks.
You may have the honors.
I was
So-
asking Jack.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a point and click horror game, meaning you only have to really use the mouse to do whatever you're doing in
Like
the game.
navigate.
So the setting is this kind of Chuck E. Cheese styled pizzeria, and there are a bunch of animatronics like that are haunted by the souls of children who were stuffed into the suit.
Dude,
and,
it's messed up. It's so messed up.
Sounds
and
pretty crazy.
You're a security officer, whatever, security guard, and your goal is to survive 5 nights of the game, and the animatronics are moving around the cameras, but they don't actually move. They just kind of stand still and like stare at the security camera that you're on, and they slowly progress to your office, and you have a limited power to like block them because you have doors, you have lights, you have the camera.
But they
Don't you have an
can't-
air vent too? Like they can sneak to them?
That's in like a couple of the other games. I'm just kind of like focusing on the first game because that's like the root of the game.
OG FNAF.
And yeah, and it makes it. The first game was so scary because like you never knew when you were gonna get jump scared, which is actually one of the terms. A scare that makes you jump out of nowhere. Pretty self-explanatory. And
I remember some of those games they
yeah.
came out
Dude.
with. They had a couple horror games on consoles. I can't remember the names, but they were.
It's legit scary.
I'm trying to think of what console that was. I guess it was Xbox, the first one I played.
Well,
The first Xbox.
Resident Evil had the first one
Well,
in the PlayStation.
they had that, but then they had like this horror one. Like you would go down like hallways and stuff, and it was kind of like a
Choose your own adventure type deal?
no, like the Jack Nicholson movie.
Oh, Shining.
Shining.
It was kind of like that. Like you would be like walking down a hallway, and like some dude would come out and try
What
to
game
kill
is
you.
this?
I can't think of the name of it. It was on the first Xbox. So I'm not-
Resident Evil 7 is messed
yeah,
up.
Resident Evil was.
You don't
messed
have Resident Evil 7.
I know, but I've watched it, and
But
it's
Oh,
scary,
God, dude.
and
And
it's
that's the other thing.
The first one was good. I remember when the first one came out. Do you remember that?
The first one was my jam, man.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Because I remember.
I want to bring up a point about young kids, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Do you guys
Yeah.
watch a lot of YouTubes about video games? I never would
I
ever
love-
do that.
What did you
Aiden,
just ask me?
YouTube, watching
Really
YouTube
quick.
on clips of video games.
What do you
Yes.
take me for?
Right? It's,
Hey,
Aiden,
Jack's legit, dude.
Aiden will sit there for hours, and I'm like, "You're not allowed to play video games." I'm not. I'm just watching YouTube, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. Dude, there's people,
Yeah,
there are
I
people
get-
making millions
Millions
of
of
dollars.
dollars on
when
that.
I get grounded for not being able to play Fortnite, which is like what I do all the time,
Get grounded.
I
Play
a
PubG.
majority of the time I'll convince my mom to let me sit there and be on my phone. And, of course, watch Fortnite.
Our mom is sitting in the room, and she has a very sad look of disapproval, and she's staring into Noah's soul. I love you, Mom.
Shout out to Mother.
So, all right, couple more terms, and then we'll move on because I think we got a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yeah, of course. We have one, try hard.
Oh, okay.
So,
It doesn't literally mean to try hard.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you gotta give us a bit of credit.
Or is it like a
because
noun, like, oh, he's a try hard?
Have you ever seen like a fifth grader try to get a girlfriend?
No.
He's like,
I'm
what up?
47 years old.
When you were in,
I hope not.
when you were.
He's Billy Madison over there.
All right, so
Someone
I'm
takes
not allowed
something
100
too
feet from a
seriously.
school, so that...
When you were in fifth grade, have you seen like some
Of
kid
course I
like
did. I'm
try to
teasing.
impress a girl and
Of
like
course, yeah.
try to do something really, really like make fun of himself?
Maximum effort.
Maximum effort.
And that's what that is. Okay.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Cool.
I gotcha.
All right.
Don't do that one. That one's sort of.
So what about have you guys heard of terms like gank?
Dude,
What
if
did you
that's
say
what
to
you
me?
guys say, ugh.
I was waiting for John
Can
to
you
come
please
out.
define the word you just said?
What about? Well, I hear you say things like a god or a legend or
What a guy.
I hear epic like too much.
yeah, epic. I hear a lot too.
Epic here in general.
I hear that from Jamie a lot. So.
No, I don't say epic.
No, you don't. You say legit.
That was
Legit.
epic.
So epic.
I do say
dude.
legit.
Nah, legit's cool.
All right, what were you going at,
All
Dad?
right. Gawk Urban Dictionary.
So here we go. So if we go and we look at
Sorry,
some of the
Stanley.
games that you're into, you guys are into FNAF. You're into Fortnite and
PUBG.
But you're playing PUBG now. You play the mobile version,
So listen,
right?
let me tell you. I play mobile version, right? I
Yeah,
play
because of
PUBG.
refresh rate, right?
Yes, but PUBG Xbox One is awful. Like the lag, it's a good game in general. It's a great game, but the lag on Xbox.
I got a question about that. So, is it true that your friends, do any of your friends have the X and play it on the X, and is it different?
All right, so the thing about the X, right, is that it provides 4K apparently. Than the Xbox One, which doesn't. So I guess it's just better quality.
A lot of your friends are on the PlayStation 4, right?
It's PS4, Xbox One S.
What's like the best? What'd you say?
If I were to pick one, the X for sure. Only because
Over
like-
over the PS4 Pro.
the only reason why I don't like the PS4 is because I'm not a big fan of the controller.
The controller's pretty sick.
I don't like it.
The
You have
joysticks
to,
are
like,
too
put your
close.
thumbs all the way down here.
Nah, man.
What about the new Atari console?
You're an
that's coming
Xbox
out?
guy.
No, see, I had.
Is there?
I had.
Yeah, you knew that.
What's that?
Oh, you know what? I did.
It's coming out this year.
What's that?
The new Atari
New-
console.
No kidding. I didn't
They're
know
actually
that.
releasing a brand new one this year for the first time in 30 years.
No kidding.
You see, the only reason why I would pick the Xbox One X is because I love the one that I have now, and that provides like a great gaming experience. But the one that I'm talking about now, the X, is just a notch up from the one.
What about the Switch?
Oh, the Switch. I love the Switch.
But not for streaming, though?
No,
That's just like
Not
fun.
streaming.
It's like for like
not online play, I meant. Sorry.
Switch is
It'd be like a-
far Nintendo's best product.
To date.
it's like a popcorn movie. You know what I mean? Like
Is
it's like a good, just like fun game.
But that's what Nintendo's always been, though. Nintendo, and outside the original Nintendo when it broke the mold, they really haven't really tried to go after the hardcore gamers. They never have. They've always gone after the young kids to mid-range from probably like 5 to 16, 17.
Yeah, they probably stopped at like Final Fantasy, I would say.
But the
As far
Wii,
as-
the Wii was the sucker punch. I mean, they
Wii
came
sucked
in
a
with-
lot of people.
because you get movement, playing the games
It was-
and all.
well, like
it was the
Switch.
least. It was the party game. It was the least intimidating. It was the one that you could
adults
bring-
could do.
exactly. And-
Not joking
and
around,
I'll tell
but
you,
serious.
Yeah.
the Switch went good though, where they did where they brought back some of the old stuff like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario
Dude,
Kart.
I play that now with my kids like relentlessly, and I'm pretty mean at it. Too. You know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, let me win.
You
I'm like,
just
"Nah."
kill Reese, don't you? You're like,
Like,
I gotcha.
It's not gonna happen. You know,
She's
she's
like 6 years old. I gotcha.
yeah. I'm like, ooh, how do you like that turtle? Ooh.
Go cry to your mother.
Yeah. Brian's like, yeah, you better let him win. Like, nah, I can't do that.
It's
I'm
not,
not raising these
Yeah,
soft
it's not-
kids.
not-
There's no participation awards here.
Me too.
There's no second place.
You gotta try. Yeah.
You see mercy.
I'm gonna use this word. You gotta be a try hard.
You're gonna
Try hard.
You sit here and hold that controller till you bleed.
Do you guys know what the game Super Smash Bros. Is?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming out soon, right?
The new
It's
one's
not even
coming out for the Switch, yeah.
That is all I am seeing on YouTube ads and YouTube videos in general.
Nintendo
these days.
putting it out there.
I am so hype.
So-
I'm probably gonna cry.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo. I mean Zelda, Mario, and well now Super Smash Brothers.
Mario Kart,
They got,
man.
But Zelda,
yeah.
and Mario are like.
That's their
I mean, when you-
cornerstone.
Mario Odyssey.
Even when you think of video games all time, they're the two ones you think the first. You would think,
Odyssey's
right?
pretty
Huge.
sweet.
Pokemon's also pretty popular too amongst
Dude,
them.
I don't play Pokemon Go anymore.
You used to
I
think
also
Sonic, but-
dying.
Well, my kids play
Genesis.
that 1-2
Genesis.
But
Switch.
Nintendo owns that product now.
Sonic-
It's,
That is.
it's Smash
like,
Brothers.
It's kind of like the
Sonic
Wii
and
stuff
Sega?
where you just dance and stuff like that.
Isn't Sonic Sega?
It used to be.
Yeah, but Nintendo bought it out or
Yeah,
something.
Sega's no
yeah,
more.
because it's in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I remember, dude. Matter of fact, that's a good story. When back, I would say 4th or 5th grade, when we were at my buddy's house and we were outside playing. Like all of us were playing except one kid, and he was inside playing Sonic or something like that. And every time in class, like we were in class, it would be like, "Hey Eddie, Sega," you know what I mean? Like just like messing with him all day long.
So we are when the boys were born. I took a big break from gaming, right? And
No, you did.
I totally did, man.
No, I
Yeah.
did too.
There's a huge
I had to
gap.
get
You know
mine
what?
to track.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. You did not, because you still played Lego Star Wars with us.
I'll put it this way. All right, I bought Xbox 360 specifically because of all the hype around Gears of War.
Yeah,
By
but
the time I bought
you
Gears of War,
justified it right though, but you were like, "I'm going to play this with the kids. We can buy."
No, I knew that was all me, man.
Don't worry, hon.
Because I
We'll
do the
buy
same
here's the thing. By
Well,
the
he
time
justified it with his wife, not him.
Yeah, don't worry, hon. I'll buy the Xbox, and I'm gonna use it for the kids.
Dude, you guys were babies. You had no business even playing it. But when I finally got around to actually buying Gears of War, it was $12.99.
Dude, Gears. Yo,
That's how much I was
Gears of
gaming.
War was awesome. That game was
Unbelievable.
awesome. Who comes up with a gun with a chainsaw? Like, bless you, bless you, sir.
Masterpiece.
That was the best.
It was.
I always got Gears of War mixed up with Call of Duty. I could not tell the two apart for the life of me when I was young.
Well, they were neck and neck as far as like in conversation. You were playing Gears, and you were probably playing. Call
Well,
of
that and
Duty,
Tom
too.
Clancy's, like all the like the
What's
Splinter
with
Rainbow.
the
Cell.
Tom Clancy's and all that? Every time I
Well, because he was like
Wasn't he a
was like
writer?
yeah, he wrote books
Yeah.
and like. I was never into the Tom Clancy stuff. Like Rainbow Six was all right.
Yeah, was that Splinter Cell too?
Yeah,
Splinter Cell was
played
okay.
that.
I didn't,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
liked the like
Call of Duty.
Dude,
Call of
Call of Duty was my jam.
I
Like,
have Black Ops 3, and it's still like so.
the World War II one is pretty bad.
they were all good. Matter of fact, I got another good story on that one. So
Go for it.
when I was working nights and I didn't have any kids, so I'd come home and I'd play that. And so I came home, I started playing. Brian woke up, had breakfast or whatever, went to work. She came back and I was still playing. I didn't move. That's a legit story. And I kept on playing through the night. And that would be Call of Duty.
So Jack had mentioned Steam earlier. Steam's the distribution for a company called Valve, right? And so Valve was headed up by a bunch of people, but one of them was a former Microsoft guy named Gabe Newell. And Gabe Newell, Gaben in the gaming universe is pretty legendary. Like he when he was at Microsoft, I heard this interview. He turned around and said, after he was playing Doom. He's playing Doom.
Yes, IDD KFA, IDD QD.
Bro, I heard Doom is like so inappropriate.
Yes, it's very inappropriate.
That's why when I got Call of
seen
Duty Black Ops 3 and you gave it to me, I was like, for a good year, I was begging for it.
Well, we got Black Ops 3 because it had all the parental controls. We can control gore and the violence to a certain extent, and it was more on the cartoony side, and we thought you were mature enough to handle it. That's why we did our due diligence.
Call of Duty was on the cartoony side.
Yeah, Doom was a little
compared to
rough.
some of the graphics.
I remember it.
But Doom, he goes this Gabe Newell. He's like he's in technology. He's not in gaming. He sits down and plays Doom, and as he's playing, he's in almost like a panic mode because he's
I remember this.
Sweating, his heart's racing,
yes,
and he has to pause because he's like, I'm afraid to go through this door because I know there's something nasty on the other side. And he has to pause, and at that point, this is what he says in the story. He goes, I knew gaming won. Hands down, this is what I wanted to do because the winner out of all the other everything else, gaming's grabs a hold of you in such a way that is not like TV, it's not like movies, it's not like books, it's not like anything else. And that's when he was like, I'm going to start a gaming company.
Yeah.
And it's been wildly successful.
Yeah, Doom, I remember when that came out, and that was, the first one I played was Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein was badass.
Yes. And then Doom. And then they had Doom 2. And then I remember, so we would we'd have computer class. Do they still have that?
Yeah, and all we play is cool math games.
Yeah, so I would download.
I never listen to the teacher. He's doing his thing, and he's like, he walks by, he's like, get off of that, would you? And I'm like,
well, do you remember you would have to save that? So I would save it on it would be 10 or 15 floppy disks.
Yeah.
I'd bring it into school and I'd load it in there.
And it'd be like,
and then I wait for my teacher to come over and be like, tab over, please. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then I'd wait. And I'd be like, and then she'd come back and I'd be like, yeah, and I'm in. You know what I mean? 8 years later after it's done, because that took forever.
Yeah,
floppy disk. My God, that's how far back we go.
It wasn't a floppy disk; it was a hard disk.
I know what
I'm
it
not
was.
that old, but
wait, the one you showed me in San Diego.
Listen to this.
All right, so I'm just walking around the house. I probably had a piece of toast with peanut butter on it, and I go to sit on the couch, and my dad's like, "No, look at this," and of course I know he's going to do something in his nerdy vibe of being a father, and he gives it to me, and it's this disc
it was a
thing.
3 1/4 inch.
Did you upload it to YouTube?
I did.
Yeah, and of course he's videoing me, and I'm like, what
He's looking
is
at
this?
it like
I thought you could open it. I thought it was a disc holder. I was like, what is this?
Not a clue. Not a clue. He's sliding it, because you can see the actual writable disc on it.
Yeah.
He's sliding it back and forth. He's looking through the hole in the center. He's like, I have no idea. He thinks it's a prank, like it's going to snap on him or something like that. And then I posted on YouTube, and then everybody on the internet felt old.
Thanks for that.
By everyone on the internet, he means the 3 people that actually watched the video.
Who's 4? How dare you?
Yeah, that 4th was
5.
me.
Thank you very much.
The 4th one was you. So favorite game, guys. I mean, I know you guys are into Fortnite.
Well, this topic, I just wanted to just bring it out there because I'm curious. What was your guys' language? What was your guys' favorite or first video game ever that you ever played?
Oh, I know that.
Go for it, Jamie.
Super Mario Brothers. It was the first one.
Super Mario Bros.
Now,
The original.
But take a beat. Arcade 2. Because they're video games.
I'd say Pac-Man then. Probably Pac-Man. Pac-Man or Centipede.
All right. What was your first game?
First one. Dude,
Isn't
it
Pong
was
the first video game ever?
it was. I'm 47, so I grew up as a 70s and 80s kid. It was a ColecoVision Telstar. I sent you guys the pic.
Yeah, I saw it.
It had a driving game. It had like 3 colors or some shit like that.
Like
It's a
you know
driving
it's
game.
it's old if it's pre-pole position, dude.
Yeah, dude, totally pre-pole position.
Wow.
So it was 1977, and it had a driving game on one. It was shaped like a little pyramid. One face of the pyramid had a
Is
driving
that Jimmy
game.
Carter?
That was Jimmy Carter.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right before Ronnie Reagan. And then on the next side, it had a quick draw game where this little blocky character would come out, and then a little dot would flash, and if you just had to beat him to it, and if it flashed red on him, then you killed him. And then on the other side was a tennis game that was like it might as well have been Pong.
So did you have that console?
Yeah.
Oh man, because we should roll through the consoles real quick.
Really quick.
Oh, there's so many.
I can
dude.
roll through the ones that I had.
Yeah.
I can go through a couple.
I'm sure you did.
I was obsessed.
I tried when I was like 5. My dad had the handheld PSP.
Which was
God
pretty
of War,
With
man.
Which was pretty cool,
dude.
though.
And
The
that's
PSP was awesome.
what I
It was
did.
so
was-
badass.
Jack
That's
and
what I
Daxter.
did. I saw the
Or
God
no,
of
just
War.
Daxter.
I saw the God of War thing, and I was like, I'm gonna play this.
I remember-
So
Do you remember-
underrated, man.
Do you remember though, like the first one? So they had like the Game Boys, but then
Yeah.
they had like the Turbo Graphics had a portable one.
Yes, I did.
And then Sega had one with a Game Gear. Then they also had like the TV attachment with it that you could get.
I do remember that.
had-
I don't
That's
remember
it.
the TV.
Dude.
You had that too?
Hell yeah,
Damn,
man.
Your parents were enablers,
Dude, they were.
They wanted to
one
get
of my
him Ritter.
favorite. One of my favorite moments.
I'm saying that as these guys have like 5 different gaming
Check
systems.
one of my favorite moments. Right, I get like it was pneumonia or mono, one of the two. I forget.
Ammonia?
Were you tired or coughing?
I forget. I was tired. Yes, I was tired.
Mono then.
Okay, so we go to the doctors, and she's like, "Well, you're going to be in for a while. So stop at Toys R
glorious.
Us." Yeah, I was like, "Final Fantasy VII."
That's
Load up,
awesome.
dude. I
By
remember
the time he was
playing
healthy,
it.
he was finished.
Dude,
the
I
game.
was playing it. I would pass out. I'd wake up, play it, pass out, wake up, play it for like days on.
Did you
end,
wear a
dude.
diaper or something like that?
No, I used the bathroom. I was thinking.
Or did you use a bucket in the corner?
Don't get me wrong. I was
He's like,
thinking.
Mommy, change my diaper.
I was
You're
thinking,
17.
I was thinking about jarring my own urine, but I didn't.
All right, so anyhow,
Wait,
the
well,
PSP,
wait.
the PSP, I had it right, and
Yep.
there was the God of War disc, and I was like, I'm gonna sneak this into the PSP. I'm gonna play something that supposedly I think is inappropriate that I'm not supposed to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I get on, and I'm like, I got it. I'm gonna play. And Mom, you were at the desk, and I was like, sort of hiding it behind my chest, and
Mm-hmm.
I log on, and it goes, "What's your account password?" And I'm like, "Come on, man!"
Thought you had that, didn't you?
That close to victory, and I was like, "Ah,
Story of your life, pal.
I got
I
something.
know, really."
You ever, to relate to movies a little bit, it's always funny that video games never relate to movies and the vice versa. Movies never really relate to video games except for Star Wars. There was a couple Star Wars games that were good.
But then they're coming out with like, if you notice, like a lot of movies are based off of video games.
Yes.
Like
but
nowadays.
like Assassin's Creed. I actually didn't mind that
Dude,
movie.
that
It wasn't
game's
bad.
legit, by the way.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
That's
the
awesome.
They're
first
coming out with a new one. I just saw.
Assassin's Creed's awesome.
You know what?
Good story.
When
too.
I get older,
Yeah.
I
That's
wanna
why I
be
like those games, 'cause
I
they
wanna
have a
be
story behind 'em.
When I was older, I want to be like, if I have grandkids, I'll be like, when I was my age, when I was your age, I had an Xbox One with color, and they'll be
You're
like,
"Get
"Man,
out of the
Dad,
holodeck."
You're so lame. We have blah blah blah. and
You're
we
going to be like
can-
VR, like
it's
with
motion
Ready Player
censored.
One.
and everything we touch, we can feel in real life. And it's like
They're going to have the holodeck.
You
Forget
guys,
that.
you guys just starting off with these like retro old games like Pac-Man. And the last game I remember that we first played was Kung Fu Panda for the Xbox 360.
That's right.
Kung Fu Panda.
and
What a
Lego
game.
and Lego Indiana Jones. For some reason, those were both in the
Not
same-
even the Xbox 360. That's how old I am, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Wait,
You're not that old.
Was the Xbox 360 the first Xbox?
No,
What was the first Xbox?
Xbox.
What was the second Xbox?
Xbox 360.
There was
Wow.
360 Xboxes before
What about
the
the
360.
Xbox
Oh, yeah.
720?
Yeah, they'd start with
That
go to Xbox
Xbox.
360 and then they'd go back to Xbox.
I'm trying to remember.
One.
Yeah,
That
Xbox.
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the first
Yeah,
Halo,
right.
and then that's when we
That was Bungie and Bungie.
yeah, but and then that's when like the online kind of started pretty much.
co-op. Yeah.
And then, but we would do the thing because I was away for like tech school.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would bring their Xbox and we'd link them up,
That's awesome.
play in different rooms, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And that was Halo on end, dude. That was some of my best times, man.
Jamie, for your birthday coming up, I think we should get you a game truck.
Yeah, man.
Just
that'd
be like,
that'd be pretty sweet.
walk
Yeah,
in.
a game truck.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I knew they had it a couple years ago. That was,
Brian,
No, really,
Brian
that
would
would-
be too happy about
Oh
that.
yeah, whenever
I would so do it, and I would enjoy it. I would just be there.
Yo,
Just
being a game truck driver would probably be like one of the worst jobs ever. 'cause
I get in
that-
an accident.
Yeah, you just have like
you wouldn't be going anywhere, man.
arcades behind.
They look in the front. You have a whole PC set up. What up?
I'd look like
kids?
Howard Hughes, dude. I'd have like tissue boxes on my feet, long hair, long
Only-
fingernails.
Only if George Costanza had a game truck, he would have kept his high score on Centipede.
Yes.
Centipede. It was one of those old school cabinet games.
You
No, I
guys-
remember that.
I remember all the like codes though. Like I was saying, Doom, like
Yeah.
the God code, IDDQD,
D-
the
Or-
limited gun code,
or Contra.
IDKFA.
Yeah.
Up, down, down, left,
right,
right.
B
Yeah.
start. Yeah,
Do you guys know what was classified as the worst graphic Atari game?
Yes.
What is it?
E.T.
Yeah,
Was it?
What do
Yeah,
you,
from-
what do you do in that game? Do you play?
I never played
You
it.
you
Play-
keep it buried in the
Bowels
in the-
of Hell.
well in the
You don't
All
buy
right.
it.
Sorry, that's
Yeah, it's-
that's the first curse word for the jar.
yeah, you owe me $1.
Sorry.
No, but there's a whole movie about that. There's a whole movie about these guys hearing about this legend of the E.T. game. It was so bad that there were so many that were not sold that it wound up in a dump in Mexico. And it became this like urban myth. And this guy did a whole
Oh,
documentary.
the Blu-rays, like the Blu-rays, of The Last Jedi, right?
Is there a blue? Oh, yeah.
Nobody's buying those, dude. Nobody in their right
They're
mind
going to be in a
is.
dumpster somewhere. But yeah, and it turns out, and they had this whole thing about why it was so bad, and it is bad.
Yeah,
It's
Ready
really
Player
bad.
One
Wait,
talked about
like-
that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they kind of.
Well,
That's
they
what our
touched on that a little
grandkids are
bit.
gonna have.
No,
They're gonna
actually,
have-
No, it was adventure.
No. It was the show. What the hell's the
Danny-
'80s show that they talk about?
Goldbergs.
Goldbergs.
Danny
Yeah.
Adventure.
It was the Goldbergs that did an episode on that.
Oh, they did.
They did do an episode
I
on
gotta
the
watch
ET.
that show.
You do, man. It's just from around here.
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do is we are talking about all the games that you shouldn't have been playing while we weren't watching.
Didn't Adventure have the first Easter egg?
Well, according to Ready Player One, it did.
Okay.
I think there might be some truth there. But what we want to do is take a quick break and actually be a responsible parent and send you guys off. And thank you guys so much for joining us, for
Make me feel old.
making us feel old
Dropping some insight on me.
and dropping some
it's what I
knowledge.
Yeah,
do.
Jamie was supposed to be the young guy in the group now. I can't say that anymore.
He's not the
I'm
one.
gonna get on that Fortnite. I'm
Well,
serious. I'm gonna
dude,
go get one. And
Dude,
I'm gonna
I will play with you.
Yeah, let me.
I will guide you to victory.
What's your gamer handle?
I'm gonna go.
Yes,
Can we
make
go
up
get
one.
one?
Yeah, well, Brian's not listening anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go get one, and I'm gonna hop on.
Yo, if
So
you
when
have,
Brian goes to bed at night, you're gonna be doing Fortnite.
Yes,
do you have an
Facts.
Xbox One? Do you have an Xbox
Guide me
One?
to
I'll go
victory
get
first.
one.
Get an Xbox One, and then you can download it for free.
Yeah,
Well, my little lads, thank you for joining us for this
Thank
week's
you,
Thank
viewers.
you for
episode.
having us.
thank
And you are
See you
welcome
later,
back,
guys.
as long as you do your homework. And
Well, school's
What do you
almost
mean?
over. What are
2
you
more
talking
half day.
about?
They can't
that's
do
right.
They're gonna go upstairs and watch YouTube videos of people playing video games.
For
Oh,
any-
Fortnite, man.
deposit the phones at the top.
Yeah,
of the
did you guys
stairs.
get the Infinity Gauntlet? Just real quick.
Oh
The
my
actual one?
god!
Yeah, did you get it in Fortnite?
All right, so yes, I
All
got
right,
it.
real quick, we'll do it. We'll extend.
Really?
Our
Wait.
job- just-
I got it one time, right? And he goes, he says one of his phrases, and he goes like,
He says a Thanos.
I haven't hit puberty, so bear with
I'll
me.
do it for you.
That was funny.
All right. He goes like, the world is ready to end. And then you like go like this and you fly up in the sky like a Hulk jump.
That's not cliche
And then you like
at all.
slowly dive down and then you like smash the gauntlet on the ground and basically you have 3 moves. You have the punch, which is
You have a
just
laser,
generic
right?
punch, yeah. And then if you hold a certain button, you can, I think it's the shoot trigger on the right side, you can like beam lasers out of the gauntlet and it'll just melt people.
It's
And
like
then
a
you
BFG.
have one more thing, and it's when you jump, you laser down onto them and smash them into the ground.
Can't just snap your fingers and
Yeah,
destroy
that's-
half the people in
Yeah,
the game.
exactly. That's
Dude,
what
it-
happens.
That would be cool,
That
right?
would be
But if you're bigger, you got to snap twice.
It's really cool. Anyway, thank you for having us on the show.
Yeah,
You're
thanks
very
for
welcome.
having us on the
Really
show.
And you're more than
appreciate it.
welcome to come on back, and we'll follow up with some more. Maybe we'll do a Sunday show. This way, it won't be a curfew prohibited.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll be summertime. We can talk about new movies that come out.
No.
Definitely.
Ant-Man and the
boys.
Wasp.
Yeah, Man and Wasp. We'll have to do a
For sure,
review.
for sure. All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
gentlemen.
guys.
Later,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
yourselves.
So as we continue with the podcast after our guest depart, we we are going to talk. Well, if you guys didn't notice, we're actually
Good
going
night,
to shift gears. We went from we went and started with our topic and our guests, and obviously we're talking about video games this week. We're going to continue with that part of the show.
Yo, let's do the console thing real quick, man. Let's
Go
run
for it,
down.
man.
All right, so go over the consoles that you had,
I like a dutiful.
or that you
Dungeon
remember
Master.
too.
The ones that I had, so this I actually made some notes.
Ball in the cup is not considered a console.
I had the stick with the wheel.
Yes, yes. A yo-yo. I ran a Duncan.
Hey, go ahead.
My first one was the Coleco Telstar. That was the one I was describing before.
I never even heard.
is
of
that the one you sent a
I
picture
sent
of?
the picture of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I saw that. I never even seen
Yeah.
that before.
I never
That's cool.
seen that either.
Yeah, because you guys were born in the 80s.
No, 79, buddy.
Oh,
79.
that's right. You're just under the 80 mark. And this was in 76. That's when it first came out. I think we had it like around 77. That had Pong, it had tennis, it had racing, and it had that quick draw game I was telling you about. And then fast forward to 1985, and that was we stayed with the Coleco thing because we had ColecoVision, and ColecoVision was Donkey Kong Jr., Frogger, Galaxian, Dig Dug.
Where Mario came from too, Donkey Kong.
Yes.
Did he really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was the dude.
That's the original plumber, dude.
you see?
And that's my
these are new
impersonation for tonight.
things. See, these are here. You do one every episode almost.
Hey, don't have
See,
it.
these are the things I didn't know. I mean, I was into video games a little bit when I was younger, but not to this extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you guys were, especially not you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Nah, I
That's
mean,
the problem.
hey, dude.
Hey, man, let's be honest.
Jamie,
Jamie had an addiction. He's
Yeah.
trying to work it out.
A little
he
bit.
goes to a meeting once in a while.
He might have to go after this one.
Yeah, seriously.
Remember, wasn't that in Wreck-It Ralph? Wreck-It Ralph had to go to a meeting and it was like all the villains.
Yeah, it was like a villain meeting, and like they were all like depressed because they couldn't be the hero. They just wanted to be the hero.
Oh man, I feel without with not seeing that movie. So you
Check
guys
it
always
out, man.
you guys always talk about it.
It's good.
For sure. Then it was Sega, and that came with Sonic along with a ton
So
of
you
other
didn't
games.
really get the original Nintendo until late then.
I never had a Nintendo.
Damn, never done
That's what I like dove right to PlayStation 1 in 1995.
Metal Gear Solid, dude.
So when's your first Nintendo? Was it the Wii?
It was the Wii.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was for the kids, really.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And so, and I didn't have any aversion to it. It's just that when I had the hiatus between like 90 and like 95, 96, college and then, work life and all that, I invested and I was like, Nintendo. I think the timing was, it was just PlayStation was like top notch.
Well, it's like we
was
just
a- it
talked
was a
about
jam.
earlier.
Yeah.
Nintendo's for a younger generation.
Totally.
It's for younger kids. It makes more sense. The Switch is designed for that way.
Well, we used to make a joke too, like when the Xbox was out and the PlayStation was out. We'd always be like, Xbox is for children, PlayStation's for men.
Yeah.
Can't say that now, though.
No, you can't.
That first PlayStation, though, was pretty badass.
Dude. Well, I
remember that first
CD
PlayStation.
drive?
that set the
Yeah.
bar, dude. Well, the first CD drive was Sega CD.
Yeah. But didn't it
I
have
had
an
that.
attachment?
It was real. It was an attachment. Well, they had two attachments. So there's Sega Genesis, and then they had.
Sega!
Well,
Yeah.
they had Sega 32X, which was like a plug into the cartridge thing. Then they came out with the Sega CD, which was another attachment, and it was all like gimmicky.
Nah,
But that was
it's
the
so-
first. That
it's
was
so-
the first disc.
Well, it's so funny how Sega failed. Because for a long time there,
They were
Nintendo has always been like kind of like stayed steady, but Sega came out like it was like the prelude to PlayStation.
I got
But
a
it was
theory to it.
It was kicking ass.
It was a monster.
You know my theory is about Sega?
Yeah,
The downfall? The controller, dude. The controller.
really.
Kids aren't here.
It's too bulky.
The controller shit the bed.
Yeah.
It did. It wasn't even that it was too bulky. It had 3 fucking buttons on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Junk.
it's true.
2 thumbs down.
You needed 4.
Yeah.
You needed 4, but not even that. It was 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like at that time, there was Super Nintendo.
right.
So it had 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, and it had the 2 on the top, like
Which-
the very
the
top.
bumper
Which
Left
outside
and
of being
right.
bulky was like whatever.
It
you
was
gave to
nice in
some-
your hand. And
Yeah.
that's why it was hard for me when we went to like PlayStation and Xbox, because I would always I would dabble in between the both when Xbox came out.
Yeah.
Because I loved the Xbox, but I wasn't like a big fan of the controller. The PlayStation controller for me was like the jam.
Yeah.
It was nice. It felt good. Man, I'm getting really into this.
No, go for it, man.
No, but the controller was the jam.
The PlayStation controller was legit, man. I mean, and the game, I'll tell you what, I didn't have a lot of money at the time. I was working 2 jobs, living in Allentown, and I went into like a West Coast video.
West Coast
like,
video. That's pre-Blockbuster,
Yeah,
son.
dude. 95.
Yeah, dude.
And so it was like, and it was, I think they had games.
Yeah, you
If
can
I'm
rent,
You can
remembering.
rent
No,
games.
You can rent
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, and consoles, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
And I rented Resident Evil 1.
Oh, dude.
It scared the shit
The
out
bus
of me.
scene. Remember the bus scene where you're trying to get out of the
That's
bus?
not 1, dude.
That isn't 1?
No, 1 is really, it's low res, man. And you're thinking, I think 3.
I think that's 2.
It might be 2. Oh, you're right. I think it might be 2.
It must be 2 because I
You're right,
remember,
it is
I
2.
remember it was like real early, but that
Yeah.
game was like the storyline was like ridiculously good.
Dude, 1 was so goddamn creepy, man. It's like what they used to texture the walls. It was this muted yellow, and
Yeah.
you're walking through, and then it was like, okay, well, this is a zombie game, and then you're like, and now there's puzzles, and now there's a story.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never forget. My buddy Danny, he's one of my closest friends. He lives in Allentown. We don't see each other as much as we'd like, but we were both living in Allentown. I was living with his girlfriend, now wife, at the time, but then I moved and got my own place. It was an alleyway, a creepy alleyway away.
You got freaked out after playing the game, didn't you?
Dude, well, I was home. He was at my place. All right.
And he had to walk home.
And he's playing, well, 2 beats. 1 beat was he's playing, and I played it up to the save spot. And then I was like, all right, dude, here, you can play. And I knew that there was this scene where you could barely see it, but it was this giant, if it was real life, it'd be as big as a pool table. This giant spider just hanging out of the ceiling right at the entranceway. And what happened was it flops down and it rears up and starts biting you and hissing at you. Well, my buddy Danny's already this arachnophobic, like not digging spiders. And I knew the jump scare was coming. We're in my apartment. He's playing. This thing comes down. I grab his leg and go, rah, like that. He proceeds to start running. Like just as he's seated, his knees are going up and down like he's about to run away. He screams at the top of his lungs, pauses, puts down the controller. He's like, "Oh my God, I think I had a heart attack." It was that engaging.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the story about the Gabe Newell, how he's talking about this is why video games win. This is why you play for
Hell yeah,
20, 36 hours if someone really lets you, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm a movie guy, but I got to be careful around video games.
Oh, dude, the suck-in factor. I'm thinking of a game just rolled off the top of my head. Actually, 2 games. Nintendo 64, Mario Kart, the original.
Oh, yeah.
And 007 GoldenEye, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That game.
That was the original shooter game, wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
I was sick with the Moonraker, son. Dude, that game was legit. Legit.
Uh-huh.
It was pretty awesome.
That game set it really set the
It
stage
did.
for everything else.
And there was Killer Instinct, which was also good.
Yeah. But then it was ColecoVision and then PlayStation 2. And then I took, like I said, or I'm sorry, Sega. I did ColecoVision, Sega, took a little hiatus, came back with the PS1. That's when Resident Evil 1. I got Resident Evil 1 and 2. Abe's Odyssey was another one I played there. And then there was this game called Soul Reaver that I played that I loved all that stuff. I like the third person. I'm not a big FPS, first person shooter guy. I can do it, but my preference is an over the shoulder cam, you know, like Gears of War.
Okay.
And then when the kids came around, that's when I got the Xbox 360 and then everything else under the sun.
Gotcha.
You know, it's weird. You know, you're 25 years old, you turn your pockets out, you save up for this PSP. Now I'm a little older, got a little bit of scratch, and now it's like, well, it's the Wii's coming out. It's like, okay, you know, you buy it and sort of act like an adult. But yeah, and now I'm just waiting for this next wave. Nick, you were saying this Atari's coming out.
Supposedly, they haven't shown any video games for it, but they're talking about price tag being around $300. They are going to have
reasonable
vintage.
as hell.
They're going to have vintage games. It's going to look like the old Atari, but they are going to have vintage games so you can play with it. Maybe build in. I don't know.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's just to shift gears a little bit, and to get sort of play in the space that we're usually talking about, which is movies. So there is a ton of video games that have been turned into movies.
Oh,
The majority of them suck.
yeah, they do suck.
They're bad.
Mario Brothers, man. Who didn't? I went to the movies to actually see that shit.
Yeah.
It was brutally bad.
But that game.
Dude, that had Dennis Hopper in it.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
I know.
I do remember that. But do you remember the movie though, where the kid plays the tournament?
Oh, yeah, he gets the glove, the Super Mario Brothers 3
the
at
Power
the
Glove.
end.
Which, by the way, the Power Glove was
Sucked.
effing junk. Dude. That thing was garbage, dude.
He got
That
the
was such-
Star World. I remember it was like the bonus
Mine
round.
didn't work. It never worked right. It was like so
Janky.
glitchy, dude. I was like, dude, what is this thing? It just looked cool. Like,
Oh, totally, man.
I felt awesome in it. And I'll be honest with you, I ran around the house with it not plugged in.
You hung
I thought it
outside.
was
with-
legit.
He walked around the neighborhood with
It was
the
like
power
my
glove.
Infinity Gauntlet, dude.
No, what other? They did. They
had the
did-
robot,
They
too.
did. They did do a
Yeah.
Dungeon and not Dungeon and Dragon. What was the Nintendo game with the two
Castlevania.
No, Castlevania was. I like Castlevania.
They did an animated version.
It
of
was
that.
actually good.
Yeah, you turned me on to that,
Yeah, it
Nick.
was not bad. And the anime, yeah, it wasn't bad. I
Mortal
haven't had
Kombat.
part 2 yet.
The Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat movie, Street Fighter.
Dude,
They are
Mortal
making
Kombat,
a reboot of Mortal Kombat. I heard.
Street Fighter.
John Van.
Well, you talking about? Were you talking about the anime movie? It wasn't actually that bad.
No, I didn't watch the anime.
I
movie.
did. I watched. It wasn't.
I was
that bad.
talking about the Raul Julia and
trying to think of the other ones.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie though, where the kid plays a tournament and was Super Mario Brothers 3?
I can see the movie poster in my head. I just can't remember the
Had
name.
Savage, one of Fred Savage.
Yes,
Yes.
Fred
yes,
Savage.
you're right.
He was the older brother.
But that's what that's like when Super Mario, like before it came out or whatever. I remember that
Super-
because it was
before
like
the
so.
three.
It was so hyped up, and I was sitting in the corner like, yeah. And I was like, ooh. He can turn into a raccoon and fly. Sweet.
I think Mario Brothers 2 was the only one I never beat because I didn't like the game.
Yeah, Super Mario 2
was
wasn't as
boring.
good.
It was just weird.
Well, it was my best comparison to that. It's like when they have like a good set of movies going, and then they put the Fast and Furious director in to shimmy it up, and then they're like, "Ooh, that was so bad. Let's get somebody back in here like J.J. Abrams." Star Trek.
I thought you were doing a Star Wars reference for
I could have done
Ryan
that too,
Johnson.
but- yeah.
So, we were talking about Resident Evil. 6 movies. That thing's been a franchise.
What,
for
on the animes?
No, I'm talking about straight up live movies.
That's right.
That game was so good.
It's been Mila Jovovich's career for the
I
past.
love the first one. After that, it kind of got cheesy.
But the game was so good.
I've never
dude.
played
They
that
were
thing.
all good too, and I'd say
You
I
should
probably
try it, Nick.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah,
I'm
They
a
have,
big zombie guy too. Now,
Metal Gear Solid
yeah.
was another good game.
Yeah,
Well, Metal Gear, the
Solid was
original.
awesome.
I love. I used to play the original. I never played Solid.
But they didn't make a movie out of Metal Gear.
No, I was just. I'm
trying to
still
think-
stuck on the video games. Man.
Well, did you ever see Assassin's Creed movie?
Yeah,
I
I
did.
liked it. People
I
gave it
did.
bad reviews. I kind of liked it.
I
I
thought it
like
was
the
decent.
story in the game was good. I didn't see the movie.
The movie
get
it
to
had the guy that played Magneto in
Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not bad. It was
He's
pretty
an
good.
awesome actor,
Oh,
man.
he was good.
Yeah, he is.
I'm trying to think of other video game movies that sucked. They usually do.
Wing Commander with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh God! Did I ever tell you the story about me and Mark went to the movies one night to actually see that when it came out? 'Cause we were like,
Really?
oh my God, this is gonna be like the new Star Wars. We got Blaze, right? As when I was younger, and we were the only 2 people in the theater. I was so freaked out. Oh man, I kept looking behind me because the movie sucked. So I just like.
Yeah.
I just got all paranoid. But anyway.
No other. I mean, we were talking about. So Mila Jovovich did all those movies. The Rock's been doing a lot of movies.
Oh, dude.
Well, he's done a couple.
Well,
He
what
did
movies-
Rampage.
He did
That's
do
a-
Rampage.
That's a
And
video
he did
game.
Doom.
That's right. I did watch the Doom one.
Yeah.
I forgot
I did
about
see it,
that.
too.
That was with the dude Carl Urban, who's the Doc and Bones in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Real, the guy that plays Bones now.
Yeah, he was
the
in
new
that one,
Bones
too. Yeah.
He's in a lot of stuff right now. He just what was he else in? He plays Bones, but he was in something else. Oh, Riddick. He played the bad guy in
Yes.
Riddick. That was a good movie.
I dug that movie.
Yeah, that one I
First
dug.
two. Yeah. The
Even
first two
Pitch
were good.
Black was good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pitch Black was
I
good.
didn't see that one, but
Yeah, because that's the prequel to. Well, it's the first one.
Yeah,
And then they
but
did
all
that.
any Riddick I've seen, I usually like.
Yeah,
The
Riddick was good.
second one's my favorite.
Pitch Black.
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
Pitch Black?
No, that's
Black
the
was the
Chronicles
first
of
one.
Riddick. Chronicles.
Yeah,
of
you're
Riddick.
right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but yeah, he did Doom and he did Rampage.
There's other video game movies, and I just can't think of them right now.
Well, I wrote a couple of them down. They did a Warcraft movie. It was an animated movie. That's
This just came out, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see
I
it.
never played Warcraft, so I can't.
Yeah.
my cousin, my
That was like
nephews played
PC.
it big time.
Yeah, it was like PC.
It was
game.
RPG. Yeah,
Well, it was like a PC game mostly.
Totally.
Yeah.
and then I just saw Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Love that girl. She's
Did you like that
beautiful.
game though?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I didn't
Yeah.
like that game.
I don't know her name, but
I wasn't a big fan of that game.
the first one, that
it
was
was all right.
another PlayStation one that I thought was really good.
PlayStation.
Yeah, but
PlayStation.
this last movie wasn't bad.
It wasn't
I mean,
bad?
It's worth a rental. I mean, for
All right.
$5,
I'll try it out.
Yeah.
I'll give it.
it's not bad. It's
take it.
exactly what you think.
I'll
it's
take
gonna
it for a
be.
spin.
Yeah, but the performances are pretty good, and the
She's not bad. She's a pretty good actress too.
dude, the physical, like the stuff that she had to do. Granted, I'm sure she had stunts, doubles, and stuff like that. But the sort of physicality that
What's better though, her or Angelina Jolie?
I'm better to look at. I'm an Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, but what do you think they pump more money into? I'm going to say probably the first ones.
Yeah, probably. Although they didn't skimp on production value. This is shot really well.
What was the first movie Angelina Jolie was in?
Jilly?
I thought it was Hackers.
Oh, you're
Hackers. Yeah, remember Sneakers? That was
Yeah, Sneakers was a great movie with
Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
And Sidney
Awesome.
Poitier.
Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd, son.
Where the guy was blind and they were going over the bridges and he's like doing
He
the
was
beats,
counting the bumps.
counting the bumps. Yeah, it's a great movie.
That was a good movie.
That movie's legit.
So there's a bunch of movies that I wrote down. There's Resident Evil, of course. There's Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Rampage, Tomb Raider, Super Mario Brothers, Final Fantasy. That was
Dude.
the CG movie.
That game, I don't know if you guys remember that, right? So they came out with the first one in regular Nintendo, and it came with like a poster, but it was like a map.
Yeah.
And I remember I got that ship out of the sand, and it rose, and I was like, man, this is awesome, dude. I was bought in. Dude, Final Fantasy was a legit game.
Did you beat it?
Yes, I did.
So you got the credits rolling and
Yes,
everything?
I got the credits rolling and everything.
The
dude.
gentle music?
Dude, I beat it. Let me tell you something. That was a good feat in my life. I know it doesn't count for shit nowadays. And that Final Fantasy VII, I think it was, when I had mono or whatever. Yeah, I beat the shit out of that. Too. And that had like a bunch of like games inside of games, which
Dude,
was awesome.
sometimes, man, it's like climbing Mount Everest, man. When you're done.
That was like Kilimanjaro, dude. Kilimanjaro.
But I'm trying to think. Castlevania I beat. That was last.
I didn't like that game that much.
Yeah, it was
I like
cool
Castlevania.
side scroller. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I tried playing it again recently. No.
Mega Man?
No.
Because I got it with that 20 game pack for the
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
Nintendo. Doesn't hold up, man.
No. How about
Yeah.
Mega Man? Mega Man was good.
Mega Man was good. I never
played
beat
Mega
it,
Man.
but I liked Mega Man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. what is
Metroid?
it? So what are you guys playing anything now?
Well,
No.
I'm playing Switch, but like, I think I'm really gonna like. I've been talking to nieces and nephews, like Brian's side, and they were like telling me about like Fortnite and
Well,
stuff.
Fortnite, Switch just came out for Fortnite.
Yeah, but I was like, I think it's time for me to man up and just go back to the Xbox and just start playing.
Whoa, did you not like Zelda?
No, I like that stuff, but like
We should all play Battlefront.
PUBG.
You guys would kill me. I suck
I'm
at these games.
No, it's-
terrible.
You're
not-
better than me. We
Nah.
played, man.
Dude, I
No, I
literally
hopped
have
on-
to look at. I go and I play and I do the old man thing that I never thought I'd do in a million years, which I look down and see what the hell I'm doing with my hands.
the
You're
problem
not
is-
like this.
well, the-
I'm doing that.
The problem is you got to get like
I'm just
in
not-
tune. Once
yeah.
you get in tune to it, then you're
Yeah,
good.
I get it.
But I've been thinking about doing that. But I've been playing. The short answer is I've been playing Switch with the kids. So I've been playing
That's cool.
Mario Kart, Mario
so
Odyssey,
fun, man.
And then we've been playing the Marvel Lego one, the Avengers Lego one.
Oh, that's
whatever it is.
cool.
The DC one's really tight too.
Yeah,
The
it's pretty
Batman
cool.
ones and all that.
They
they're-
got the whole all the superheroes.
Yeah, Brian was like, "Yeah, you got to beat this for Maddox because he wants Hulk," and I was like, "Man, I don't know where to go from here, man." I was like,
Cheat codes, man.
yeah.
Cheat code that shit.
They have cheat codes. For
Oh
it?
my god, you can get all the players you want.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah.
I'll look that
Just
up.
Google that shit up. I'm sure it'll pop right up.
Yeah.
You probably can go on YouTube and
When
it'll
we
show
were
you.
playing Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, they were like, "Oh, we want Force Ghost Obi-Wan Kenobi," and I'm like, "Done."
Yeah, done and done. Oh, speaking of cheat codes, remember the Game Genie, son.
Ah,
Dude.
yeah.
Dude,
Game Genie.
You could get that cheating thing, right? You could slap that in between your cartridge. It came with a pamphlet that had the code. And there was a way to get, remember they would come out with new games and all the codes were in the book? I'm trying to remember how you would get the codes, but there was a way to get the codes for the new games.
Yeah,
or
you had
something.
to go to a dodgy street in Philly and down an alleyway and past the shop
The
where they
Game
sold the
Genie.
Mogwais.
Remember how cheap that thing was though? Like the piece of janky plastic it had with it. It was gold. And it had like the red guy standing there like Game Genie.
The
Yeah.
hack of the 80s.
Yeah, and then you just go cheat through Super Mario Brothers 3 and just fly through the whole damn thing.
There was something about beating games out. I mean, so it's like especially when there was, don't get me wrong, there were some that were anticlimactic, but when you got to the end and that
Yeah.
scroll started happening, you were like, it was almost like you were like,
Yeah. What did I just do?
Yeah.
And then you hear, go outside.
But I'll tell you what, back to the question. If I'm playing, which is not often, I'll play. I bought Shadow of War. It was the Middle Earth Shadow of War.
Oh, how's that?
What's that
It's
on?
pretty cool.
What's
it's
that,
really
Xbox?
cool. It's Xbox 360.
So who do you get to be in it?
You play this descendant of Isildur, I think. I just started playing it, and
That sounded like not get laid door. When you said that, dude,
dude, I got to get my card back,
I was
man.
like, wow, dude.
He really has to do some research here.
But
That's awesome.
but you actually merge with one of the wraiths, and so you get like this wraith power, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
AK just like chop your Peter right off. Dude. You don't even need it. Throw it in the trash.
Do a Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah.
That's right. That and I'm playing Gears 3.
God, Gears of War was so good. Is the
I
new
love that
ones?
game.
Are the new ones just as good?
Yeah, to me they are.
I'm in, dude. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it, and then I'll just
Hit me up, man. We'll do
Yeah,
online
all right.
co-op.
all right.
And then really, I'll goof around the boys and we'll play. I like playing Injustice because it's just
What is it?
Injustice. It's the DC.
Justice League.
It's basically like Mortal Kombat, only your DC.
Oh, you're
Yes.
fighting.
Do they have
So
the
fun.
Marvel versus Capcom still?
I think they
Those
did.
are good.
Yeah, you actually can download that on an app. I
Really,
think,
those
now.
are good, dude.
Yeah, they
Oh,
can
and
fit on a thumb drive now.
that's another reason I'm sucked in too. I saw that they're coming back out with, and I used to play the hell out of it. Was Red Dead Redemption?
That game is badass.
They're coming out with a
man.
new one, and that's why I'm like zoned in. I'm like, ooh,
Bye, Jamie. I'll see you in 2 months.
Yeah, right. What are you doing on the podcast? I'm busy.
We'll have to get a sub. No, but that's like a real open world feel. It's a western.
Wild
What else
Wild
has an
West.
open world feel that everybody likes? It's after the
Skyrim.
No, after the apocalypse.
There's Badlands. There's
No, it's not Fallout.
Fallout. Yeah,
Everybody loves Fallout.
Fallout, the original one I used to play.
Because the Fallout 4 was like a big deal. My brother-in-law, he's a big gamer. Like he still is because he doesn't have any kids or any responsibilities. He's a good guy though, but he plays games all the time. He said he played Fallout because it's like such an open world. Like there is a storyline, but you could totally go wherever you want, pick up other storylines, and go anywhere you want in the game. He really likes it.
Yeah. Skyrim's like that, only medieval times, and that's that you can go bye with that one. Like,
Medieval times.
So one more question: what any games you'd like to? I mean, so the gaming industry for movies has been really shit, right?
Yeah.
And so, but do you think there's any property that's salvageable?
I think they
I'm looking at
screwed up
you,
like
Nick.
the Halo thing. I think they could have done something better with that.
Especially with
Yeah.
Staff Sergeant. What the hell is
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. They like janked that all up, dude.
Yeah, they
There was definitely something there that they
Same
could have
with
worked
Doom too. Doom, like
the potential there.
you know what I mean? Like I think Resident Evil was the only one that did like justice as far as like it was such like a good story, and
Yeah.
Doom had such a good story. It was like it's like a horror like shooter, man. Like you know,
I'm just surprised.
Wild West
man.
and hell, pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm really surprised that nowadays they can't find, because anytime they make these movies or they try to, they always get B actors except for The Rock. But at the time when Rock made Dune,
Yeah,
he wasn't like he is now.
yeah, no,
he was just
true.
coming out of wrestling.
Yeah,
he was
right.
taking any job he could get.
he was on Star Trek.
Rock.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, yeah,
I
you
was telling
showed
you,
it,
he was played this. He fought 7
Oh,
of 9.
back. Yeah. But still, it's like. By the way, the guy who played Worf's son in Next Generation, he passed away.
Huh.
Yeah, just I don't know, news. But
it's
anyway,
not.
we're talking about Star Trek. It popped in my head. So, but they just, you would think they would grab some, like, I don't know, a good actor. The only one they tried grabbing good actors was Tomb Raiders.
Yeah, well, Mila Jovovich, she was really good, and the I'll tell you what, I'd like to, the Tomb Raider movie that I saw today, I watched it over my lunch, and I watched it a little bit last night.
Dude,
Yeah,
they hiring?
at lunch. It was good. It was entertaining. But here's the thing: the games that are getting all these high acclaims, there's a lot of touch points, right? Gameplay, graphics, and effects, and that, but also story, right? So,
Well, you heard your boys too. Is like the lag. That's a big
No.
problem.
What
He's talking about premises for movies.
Premises for movies.
yeah. So if they're getting so juicy with these stories and these like Red Dead Redemption,
Oh,
that could be
awesome.
a movie like that.
Yeah.
Right. Just.
That's
you
good.
got the template, you know. Don't try and do like what they did in Doom, which is like they did the actual first person.
Yeah, that was so. I was like, what?
Maybe
are you
it's
doing?
Yeah.
maybe it's kind of like superhero movies.
Dude, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're going to do that.
Exactly.
They're going to do a movie,
Wish come true.
You remember the old Star Wars?
and it's going to be by good producers. They produced Game of Thrones, so I'm super excited about that trilogy, not the Ryan Johnson trilogy.
Yeah, so that would be a perfect example of taking a video game property and making it into a successful
That was a
movie.
good game too.
Knights of the Old Republic.
No,
That was a tough game.
The first
You ever try
Star
playing it?
Wars.
It's tough.
The
It's
first
tough.
Star Wars on Nintendo 64. That game was badass. What was that? What the hell was that called?
I don't know.
Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah?
I played the shit out of that. And then the next best Star Wars game after that was Unleashed.
Oh,
I
Unleashed was
loved.
awesome.
I beat Unleashed. I loved
the
Unleashed.
game was-
that was so cool.
Unleashed 2, whatever. There was 2 on.
Yeah, there was two, but
I beat the second one.
I'm trying to think of the Nintendo 64 one. I gotta look that up.
Go for it. But the other one that the Gears movie, they got to do a good Gears movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
they could do a good Gears movie.
Yeah.
And don't jank it
But
all.
what I was saying was maybe movies just haven't got there yet to really make a good gamer movie because it took years before they got comfortable making superhero movies and doing them right.
True.
So
Yeah, true.
it just
Yeah,
might
you're
not
right.
have caught up that
They
to
gotta
that.
That's a
evolve
good
a little
point,
bit.
actually.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Yeah. I do make some good points.
I do want
Shadows of the Empire, son. That's what it was.
Oh, it was a good game. I remember
That
Shadows.
I remember the cover for that.
That game was legit.
It was a good game. I never beat it, but it was a good
I
game.
played the shit out of that.
How long ago was that?
That was Nintendo 64, so that's like late 90s,
Okay, so 15 years.
mid to late
Maybe
90s.
20.
Yeah, mid to late 90s. I don't know.
20 years ago, dude.
Not to.
I'm old, dude.
I just want to switch something real quick. I want to
Go for it.
put news out there a little bit on box office. Avengers finally broke $2 billion.
Hell
Oh,
yes.
they were at 199.9
Yes.
and it was
Broke
like
yesterday.
Did
Yes.
it
Or
really?
is it today or yesterday? I think it was today.
I was so that's a great segue, Nick. Thanks for throwing.
So
the
what
ball
did
that?
that? So did it? What's that compared to? What did
Fourth.
Last Jedi do?
Fourth all time.
Still fourth.
It beat Last Jedi, but I think Titanic's beats it.
Okay.
Yeah. There's Titanic.
It's Avatar, Force Awakens, Titanic, then.
Yeah, and Avatar's like 2.7 billion.
And you know what? I watched Thor Ragnarok this week.
I watched it again.
As much as I love Black Panther, I still I think
Thor
Thor's
Ragnarok's
better.
good.
I think Thor's better.
I'm trying to think of.
I'd have to rewatch it.
I watched Black Panther this week and Ragnarok, and Black Panther's good, but I can watch Thor
It's
Ragnarok.
on
I
my
can
side.
right.
Yes, it is. Dude, I'm jealous.
Yeah, whatever. I could watch it again. I can go home and put it on right now and be like, enjoy my.
You probably will.
I have it teed up.
Nah, I gotta get up early to work tomorrow. But yeah,
But when he comes home tomorrow,
I'm sorry.
he'll probably put it
I'm
on.
sorry. Isn't somebody just talking about buying a video game, getting all immense in it, and he still hasn't watched one episode of The Walking Dead?
I don't
Yes.
think it's gonna happen.
Oh,
He's
come
right, he's
on!
got
You
it.
can't bust my balls until you at least start that.
He's got to start. Which I hear I can watch it and catch up because now every cast member is leaving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another one left. I don't know which one it was though.
Maggie, isn't she leaving?
No, I know it was Maggie and Rick that were.
Maggie's going to be in for half of next season, and Rick's leaving after next season.
Yeah,
So it's just going to.
yeah. It'll go away.
I'm done.
It'll go away just like nobody watches Fear.
I've been trying. It's decent, but it's still maybe too little, too late.
Yeah, totally. So let's shift gears. We're gonna flip the switch, and we're gonna actually end with news, and then maybe a little what you're watching. So weekend box office, Ocean's 8 tops the box office.
It sucks, dude. They went back to the well on that, and it was like, dude, like,
It's back to what we were saying,
screw you. You know what I mean?
I heard the women want to see that next weekend.
dude.
That's
I think
fine, but like, I don't even want to like.
it's $41 million. It's not that big a deal.
That means they're gonna make like another.
no,
stupid
they
one.
won't. Think
Oh,
about that.
Did you hear Solo is actually going to lose money after marketing and
That
everything?
sucks too, because what a
Yeah.
good. I thought it was a good.
It
movie.
did over $300 million.
Every Star Wars fan I watched, I read some of the comments of what they're always
Yeah,
complaining
they're
about.
not-
They always say it's a good movie.
Yes.
Every Star Wars fan says Last Jedi
right.
sucks. Solo was good.
Yo,
Yeah.
speaking of comments,
That's
right?
number 2, by the way. Solo.
Speaking of comments, real quick, like he's right. I seen that too. Like everybody's like giving like Solo props, But then you see like The Last Jedi. Don't want to go down this well, but real quick, they go, like people are bashing the hell out of it. And then there's always that one guy that's like,
well, it wasn't that bad.
it was a good movie. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
They
Like,
put it in a fresh new light.
That's the other 50 million people that just said it sucked.
That's just a troll looking for attention.
Well, and then they bring up the troll thing, and they're like, well, all the haters and all that. That article I sent you guys.
Yeah, I don't normally agree with Ben Shapiro because he can be pretty obnoxious, but that he hit home on a lot of points on that article you sent.
Yeah, the Catherine Kennedy
And
thing.
Mark Bernardin's actually the sidekick for Fat Man on Batman.
Oh,
with
is he?
Kevin Smith.
Yeah. It was just ridiculous.
And I respect Mark Bernardin's opinion. I just didn't agree with it then.
The one article I read was all talking about how Catherine Kennedy's brought the franchise into the future, and then the article I sent you was hit it on points because he was actually critiquing the article the other guy wrote. It's like, seriously, dude, she's taking it over. Force Awakens had nothing but to do. It was going to do great because everybody was expecting a Star Wars movie. You haven't seen anything in years, and you're going to see see Luke. You're going to see Han. You were going to do $2 billion no matter what you did.
Yeah, we know.
She's been going downhill. Every movie's getting worse and worse. Huh?
Talking about this might be our last year with Lucasfilm.
Oh,
I'm going to hope that she goes, then Ryan goes.
Well, I think
he's already in
life
pre-production.
support.
That
She's
asshole.
his life support system.
Here we go.
So let's shift gears.
The rabbit hole.
Ocean's 8, number 1. Solo, a Star Wars movie, number 2 with $15 million. I'm surprised to hear that you said what you said, Nick, because I thought as long as they cleared the 250, 300 million.
But there was 150 worth of marketing or something like that.
Well, that's sad. They don't bring up the in-box office mojo. They don't bring up. Sometimes they'll have what they spent on the movie. I don't think anybody's telling anybody what that spent. I think a lot of people are just speculating, and they're probably pretty
close.
much in the ballpark because they made 2 movies practically, 2 very expensive movies. And the thing about Ocean's 8 is that they have 8 stars.
Who made that? Oh! Who made that?
Ocean's 8. They had.
Is that ABC?
No, I'm not sure who made that.
I mean, not ABC, but Disney.
Hold on.
No, that wasn't Disney. I
Okay.
think that might be Universal.
That's what I thought he was talking about. Like, because think about that. ABC lost on Star Wars potentially, and then they just lost out on Roseanne. That's a lot.
How did they lose out on Star Wars?
Well,
ABC's owned by Disney.
no, I'm saying like on Solo, didn't they break even or not?
They're not going to break even. They're probably going to lose.
That's
Not
what
a lot, but
that's what I'm saying. That's
Star
2
Wars.
hits for him. That's 2
for a
hits
Star
in row.
Wars
I
movie
guess
to
it
lose
doesn't
money,
even
it's a big deal.
Well, it doesn't even really matter in the grand scheme of things because look how much we're talking about $2 billion that they made on Avengers.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But John
what am I
said,
talking about
John
here?
said a couple of weeks ago they actually Disney stock dropped because of Solo.
Did it really?
Yeah, it took a dip. But you wait till that park opens next April? I already seen there was
I saw
it
it
looks
too.
awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, it's called something Galaxy's Edge. That's what it is.
Ooh.
I hope they have a spank bank.
They should call it the Outer Rim.
Outer Rim. I think there's a Jamie. I got so many jokes; they're just coming into my head too fast.
What's that?
I thought there was a peep show called the Outer Rim. No, but Outer Rim would be pretty cool. Sorry, Jamie. I spilled my water on
Galaxy's
all over the
Edge
place.
just isn't a Star Wars reference.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I
what
don't
is?
like about it. If they're going to call it the Galaxy's Edge,
I think that's what they're calling it.
I think that's kind of gay. Sorry.
Red Shirt Day. Red Shirt Day is where it's very gay friendly down at Disney and Red Shirt Day.
Yeah.
My friend of mine's dad was very surprised.
And they're supposed
as
to
an
be-
older gentleman that went to there accidentally knowing that it was Red Shirt Day.
They're supposed to be doing a
Had a good
Marvel
time.
park there too, right?
A what?
A Marvel park.
Well, Marvel's they're all already integrated.
It's all going to be at Hollywood Studios, right?
Well, there's Universal Studios.
No. Disney's where Tower of Terror was and all that.
Yeah, you know more about it than I do.
I think so because it's already Tower of Terror is a Guardians of the Galaxy right now. They switched it.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah.
All I know is that it's breaking off a piece of the kids' college fund to go down.
Oh, hey, no. When this podcast takes off, we're going to be Disney's going to beg us to do it
That's
down there, right?
We'll have to compromise our values. Sell out.
Bob Iger's going to pay us some loot.
Yeah, give me the loot.
You're going to be a shill. Okay. So back to the box office. Deadpool.
Still kicking.
Yeah, $14 million. Hereditary, which I'm seeing marketing out the wazoo.
What is that?
It's a horror movie that's supposedly getting all this critical acclaim. I don't know much about it.
What's it called?
It's called Hereditary.
I don't even know.
It looked pretty freaky in the trailer that I saw.
I'm assuming something to do with genes and stuff like that, right? Or family heritage.
Something like that. I mean, it's really... I'm probably just going to be one of
Horror
those things.
movies are where, I mean, if you're not Disney, because Disney don't do them, that's where it's at.
Well, the kids' movies.
Dude, the kids are loving the horror movies. I mean, I've never been into the genre, but
The
anytime
old
you talk,
ones.
Oh, you're talking about like young, like teenagers and
dude,
stuff?
they love them.
Yeah.
Your kids love them. Noah was just talking about the Halloween. He's like,
Yeah,
oh, it
Noah's
looks so
totally
awesome.
stoked. Even though he'll like go into it thinking that I'm prepared to be restless. You know, Jack's just like, nope.
I always thought of it as their date movies because,
Yeah.
getting closer to girls, but
Exactly.
I never got into them.
I always dug a good horror flick.
Did you?
Yeah, as long as it was good. Well, even the shitty ones I dug, like all the Friday the 13th and Halloweens and stuff like that. Avengers: Infinity War is still in the race. It's number 5. Adrift, that was the one with Shailene Woodley that we talked about. Book Club, finally figured out what that was about because Cindy went and saw it with the girls, and I saw a trailer for it. Supposedly, it's really good.
It's
really
funny. I heard it's like has a lot of older women talking about sex.
Yeah, there was. Speaking of which, so Cindy and the girls are sitting in front of this 3 older women, and she said they had to be, gray hair, had to be in their late 60s, and they're ordering food and they're ordering booze, and they're like asking them like, how many shots are in that? Like they want to make sure that they're getting a good belt tied on, and they're having a good time, and they ripped it up watching this movie. So I was like, all right, that's cool. Hotel Artemis, we talked about that. It was like this kind of like the premise is Jodie Foster's in it. She plays this doctor of this Hotel Artemis. It's where all the undesirables, the hitmen, the murderers, and they go to get patched up. And it's like a safe haven, kind of like John Wick and the Continental. I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I love that.
So, I mean, I'm into the movie. I'm not so sure I'm into it to go punk down some cash. And Upgrade, that was the one that looks fun.
But it got crushed.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be fun. Like, I have nothing else to watch. So let me give this a...
I might not even do that then.
Yeah.
if the reviews come back, like fan reviews come back.
This or Andy Griffith?
Yeah.
Let me see.
This or the Cooking Channel. So. And then topping off the box office at $2 million is Life of the Party. Finally saw the trailer for this. Finally found out what it was about. It's Melissa McCarthy. She gets divorced and joins her daughter and goes back to college.
What?
Very much back to school, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yes, dude, that movie was awesome.
Yeah, but can she pull it off though? She's not bad. I don't
Sam
mind.
Kinison was in that movie.
Yes.
dude.
Yes.
If she can pull off a triple
Say, oh,
whammy,
yeah,
I'm
she-
in.
Remember that part?
He's like having a heart attack.
Yeah.
He's like,
Freaking out.
it's a great movie.
Say it.
Yeah.
That
So-
was a pussy. or Ford was a pussy or something like that.
So that's our box office. Now in the news, speaking of other things to watch, some of the things that I've been watching lately, and only because of this, it's got me more focused and more interested in. Because there's not going to be any more of them because the world lost Anthony Bourdain
Oh, yes.
to the tragic death that he committed suicide, which was genuinely heartbreaking. I don't know if you guys ever watched his No Reservation
I did.
shows or it's just He was a cool ass dude, and
He was in the weed, dude.
yeah. Well, he left it all out there. He was really compelling. The shows that he
did some crazy stuff.
Well, I didn't know. So I didn't really know who the hell he was, but then they like pretty much like shoved it down your throat. So then I like went back, and apparently everybody was raving about his first show, which was pretty much
No reservations, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. But it was pretty much where he stays up all night, or goes to like places,
Weird
and
places.
and he gets like shit faced and like just like talks about like the food and stuff.
Oh yeah, That's pretty much what he did.
That's pretty cool.
He would go all over the world, and he would like eat bat wings or whatever, or any kind of like. And yes, and he was getting shit faced a lot of times. He would have whatever glasses of wine, whatever there was an episode where I think he was in like Thailand, and he like was hanging out with a bunch of like kids that were 20 years old. He jumped off a cliff into the water. That's what he did, man.
Yeah.
I never thought. I mean, you think a guy that travels the world, eats great food, not all great food, but like weird food, but still ate great, and was a ridiculously famous chef, had a bunch of good restaurants. You didn't think he would be depressed.
Well, it's like Kate Spade too. David Spade's sister-in-law, man. That sucks.
The day before that.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, to your point, Nick, it's like, here's this guy. He looks like he's got the world by the balls, and he's just grabbing life with both hands and literally taking huge bites. Probably lived more lifetimes than most people. And the thing about that was so compelling about his second show, the one he had on CNN, the Parts Unknown show, is that, he was really a seeker, in my impression. Who knows what was going through his head. He was really a seeker of this connective tissue that unites all of humanity, right? And the most common way to do it was through food. So he could be in Iraq and talking to someone of the Muslim faith, and just... It's not what's advertised on it's not some squawking idiot that's saying, they're a bunch of terrorists, or it's really getting to know people
And at a basic level.
In a very human level. It's like, okay, they're Muslim and they live on the other side of the planet, and their cultures and heritage might not be the same as ours, but they love their kids and they love to sit around and socialize. And and he just tapped into that over and over. But then he would also ask these very interesting and engaging questions about things like and challenge people, but just to I don't know the guy, and most people didn't know the guy, but through his shows and his interviews you really felt like you did, and for that it was really like, holy shit, I can't believe this dude is dead.
Did you see they talked about it? I didn't see this episode. I don't know if it was when he was doing No Reservations or not, but they were doing an episode near a war zone, and he somehow stumbled into the war zone. He had to get rescued by the United States military, I think.
Really?
Yeah, so he ended up eating. They filmed the rest of the episode while he was eating on one of the destroyers or aircraft carrier or whatever.
No kidding.
So he's like, it isn't like fine wine, fine dining, but I'll take this any day of the week compared to where I was.
Yeah, and that was the thing about it. Yeah, he's had opportunities where he's sat down and eaten, $2,000 or $500 bottles of champagne and foie gras and all kinds of exotic, decadent foods. But then he's like, he'll go and visit some place in Pittsburgh where they
China dirty ass
do
corner.
A hell of a meatloaf. You know what I mean? He's like, this is really good.
He'll go to the weird spots in cities where you'll pass by that shop and you'll be like, I ain't going in there.
Yeah.
He'll go in and order the damn food and be like, I want to try this out because this is whatever. Say it's Chinatown. He won't go to the named Chinatown restaurants. He'll go to the one on the corner that nobody will walk up to because who knows if they're serving whatever they're serving is healthy, but he don't give a crap.
Congratulations, you have the best coffee in the world.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this week's episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. Apologies for the abrupt ending. We had a lot to talk about, and so much so that we're going to continue the conversation into next week's episode 22. We're also going to talk about some Game of Thrones, and we're going to get into a review of Incredibles 2, one of the many summer blockbusters that we at the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show are digging. So if you are digging the show, be sure to subscribe to our show on iTunes, or if you are of the Android persuasion, perhaps Google Play. And if you're really, really digging the show, leave us a 5-star review. We would like that. So thanks again, everybody, and enjoy your week.